Okay, I
And
like this.
And if you're with a man that puts you in your feminine, you're gonna make him feel like a man anyway. Like you will.
Alam mo, gustong-gusto ko na talaga maging feminine. Asa na ba?
Ako rin, I wanna be, okay, ito pa.
I want to
Speaking
wake up
of
with like butterflies in my hair.
Yan.
sunglasses,
I want to
ganon.
talk to birds. Alam mo yun? While I'm
Yan.
doing the laundry. Shit naman. Ano ba?
Oh.
Naging Snow White.
Welcome to Raw and Real, the podcast where truth wears no filter. Hosted by identical twins Danah and Stacy. The same fearless energy that defined plump.ph is back, now with deeper accountability. At the peak of the body positivity wave, they hit a hard truth. Being fat isn't brave, being fat isn't healthy, and body positive isn't the whole story. Preaching self-acceptance while eating in denial, saying I'm fine except me, wasn't honest, and it wasn't helping. At the height of wokeism, between 2016 to 2020, as the faces of the body positivity movement, they completed over 100 podcast episodes on Spotify. Now they're back, but this time on PGMN. Not just with their brand, but with clarity. Born from a lifetime of twinhood, Raw and Real invites you into the unfiltered world of two women who've lived, fought, and flourished together through body shaming, cultural expectations, healing, and radical honesty. Expect real talk about what we usually hide: shame and joy, jealousy and softness, strength and sex, the systems we live in, and the stories our bodies carry. Each episode strips away performance, leaving something deeper: connection. No scripts, no pretenses, just two women speaking their truth, sometimes with serious gravity, often with blazing hilarity, and holding space for yours. This is Raw and Real. Tune in, unpack, unlearn, come as you are.
Yes, we're back.
So you put count us.
And we have our male guest today. Male guest talaga.
Yeah, minsan kasi kailangan natin ng male perspective eh.
Yeah.
Well, we get so caught up in our estrogen.
And then our feelings.
I mean, it would be good to have an outsider's perspective on things.
Yeah. And that's why we have Dani Moyni again.
Once again, yes.
Here on the show.
Yes. Hello. Welcome. I feel like
back.
I don't know if I have to temper, myself and be proper or
No, just
I'm back, bitches. So, yeah.
yan, raw and real tayo.
All right.
So, Dani, we wanna pick your brain kasi we agree, all of us, that men should lead in a relationship,
Mm.
right? But the question now is, bakit ba?
Okay. So, I actually wouldn't say that's necessary.
What?
Yes.
Okay, sige,
Okay.
sige.
Surprising take, right? I believe there's a difference between what is optimal
Okay.
and what is possible,
All right.
right? So, yes, probably like 99.9% of the time, I would say it's best for a man to lead. In
Okay.
fact, we did talk in the other episode that it's also justified biblically that that's how it should be, right?
Design.
But I believe there are exemptions to the rule, right?
Okay.
So there's two things I want to talk about. That first point, which is just because it's possible doesn't mean it's optimal,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Number one. Number two, and this is probably thrown around a lot in the manosphere, is that the exemptions don't make the rule,
Okay.
right? Okay, so for a better understanding of what I mean by that, ito na naman yung mga famous analogies.
Oh,
The
sige,
Danny
sige,
analogies,
sige, sige.
right? So how I would explain that just because it's possible doesn't mean it's optimal, I'd probably use cars.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone knows what a L300 is,
Mhm.
right? And everyone knows what a Ferrari is,
Mhm.
right? Let's not be specific to the model. I know there might be some car guys, but it's not Ferrari. Okay.
Okay.
So you have an L300 and you have a Ferrari,
Mm.
right? Objectively speaking, what is the better vehicle?
Depends
on what you need it for.
There you go.
Wow!
Mind meld, lol. Depends on what you need it for, right? So
Oh.
at the end of the day, it would depend on what the use case is,
Right.
right? So if the use case is I need to transport some stuff because I have a ref, I'm moving houses,
Moving out. Yeah.
then maybe the Ferrari wouldn't be the best car for it.
Right. Okay.
But first impression would dictate that yes, the Ferrari is the better vehicle. It's more expensive. It's more valuable. But if it's not used for its intended purpose, then the value is relative,
Agreed. Okay.
Okay, in the same way, if you were to use an L300 to race,
Oo nga.
kind of doesn't make sense either, right?
Oo.
So what I'm trying to say is just because it's possible doesn't mean it's optimal.
Okay.
Okay, so in a relationship, what is optimal?
Okay.
What we can agree on is that for a man to lead is optimal. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not possible for a woman to lead.
Okay, yeah, oo.
Okay, it's just not optimal.
Right.
Okay.
You know? Okay.
Yeah.
So in some very minor cases, it works when a woman leads, I guess.
Example,
Right?
sige.
Probably in a household where the man is more feminine, 'di ba? And they're just the
And
kind
the woman's
of
just operating in her masculine.
yeah, and
Okay.
and she wants to be the breadwinner, and that's where she finds joy.
I see.
Right, and that's really her thing. And then she finds a man who finds joy washing dishes, doing the domestic
husband,
chores, and
yeah.
The husband.
Husband.
and so
Okay.
in that scenario, the energies kind of equalize, right? And it works in a way, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
Fair.
So it's possible,
Oo
Yeah.
nga.
but it's not optimal.
Yes. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in that sense, the next question you'd want to ask is,
Sige.
do you want it to just be possible, or do you want to be optimal?
Yon.
Bakit optimal pag lalaki nagli-lead?
Because that's what we were designed to do, right? It's just a biology thing again, right? Like, we are biologically the stronger gender, physically speaking, right? And so in a scenario where there needs to be brute force, then it just makes more sense for you to push the man into the situation, right?
Right.
Like if
example,
someone breaks into your house.
That's it,
you
right?
know?
I was just about to say,
Oh.
3 a.m. in the morning, you and your wife are in bed, right?
Oo.
And you hear, some noise downstairs, like glass breaking and stuff. Best believe the man's picking up the bat.
Yeah.
It's not the woman, right?
Right.
Well, I hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that would be optimal.
yeah.
I'm not
For
saying
the
the woman
scenario.
can pick up the bat.
Oo nga, she
Right.
can.
It's possible.
Yeah, mamaya, she's like a black belt in Jeet Kune Do, like,
right.
Yeah,
babe,
yeah.
relax, I got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
the man would want to protect her, right?
yeah, in
Also.
very, very, very niche situations where probably the man is not that worked out, doesn't know any martial arts, very frail, and the woman is, like very masculine in a sense. And
Right.
maybe that would make more sense. But I mean, this goes deep, eh? Like, even if you think about law enforcement or the military,
Actually.
right? Can a woman join these?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it be optimal? Probably
No,
not.
you know what comes to mind
Diba?
is that shot nung nabaril si Trump sa ear and the security
The
service
girls
na
were so
babae
scared. They
nagtago.
were hiding.
Right? So I'm not
Yeah.
saying they can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I guess that's where all the hate comes from. It's like the women should stay out of the police force, or diba?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a very
Yeah.
like no.
Extreme masyado eh.
I'm
Oo.
saying
Pwede.
maybe, but
Yeah.
why?
Okay.
Like
okay.
you could, but
I get it.
I don't understand why you would prefer that. I mean, if
Right.
that's your heart, then who am I to tell you not to do it? But you're gonna
Right.
have to work twice as hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna put in twice as much effort because that's not how you were biologically made up.
Right.
Even you take that to the Olympics, right? Or sports, diba?
Yeah.
And then they will say there's a lot of arguments. Well, women get paid less and this and that.
Yeah.
And then the usual counter to that would be, well, men's sports get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people want to
They
watch
pull
the
in
NBA.
more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People,
On a scale lang naman eh.
that's
It's a
it.
scale
It's
issue
just like you get
Yeah.
paid
More
more
people
because you bring in
consume
more.
men
Right.
sports.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not fair. No, it's just
Ah.
proportional to the money that's brought
And it's
in.
a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Gets.
So that's the first point, right?
Okay,
The fact
okay.
that just because it's optimal doesn't mean I mean just because it's possible doesn't mean it's optimal.
Right.
Okay.
So then there's the other side. The exemptions don't make the rule,
Oh.
Okay.
right? So another example, right? Let's say you're in the classroom.
No.
In your school, did you have the right-handed desks?
Wala, isa lang. Right lang eh.
Talaga? Okay.
Okay, so in most schools they have those desks where some are left-handed, some are
some are
right-handed.
right-handed.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
And in the classroom there's, let's say, 50 students, more depending on the school you go to. If it's a more exclusive school, maybe 25 students, right? But point is, in that school, in that classroom of 50 people, how many people will actually be left-handed
They're a minority, I guess.
out of 50 people? What do you reckon?
5, 10?
Around 5, 7, maybe 10 at most, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and that we can agree on that, right? Like it's a minority to be left-handed, but they exist.
Yeah.
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 They exist, right? So let's acknowledge their existence for a minute, but then also ask, does that mean that we need to make 50% of the tables left-handed because they exist?
No.
No.
Why not? But they're there.
But
they're
they're
not
not majority.
50%.
They are the
minority.
exemption, right?
Oh.
Right.
So just because the exemption exists doesn't mean they govern the rules.
Yun nga, but
Yes.
today kasi people like to zone in on those things and talk about it in a way that
to include them,
to
right?
include
For
hindi na, pero
inclusivity.
hindi na inclusivity ngayon eh. Is it?
It's
When you
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about minorities and all of these things na now the spotlight is on them and the way that they're presented on a public scale is like
medyo fawning na yung mga tao.
parang why is this getting so much airtime? Alam mo yung ganun? May ganun akong feeling na
yeah.
but they're still the
They're a
minority.
minority.
It doesn't
Uh-huh.
mean that they're invalidated. We shouldn't invalidate them, of course.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Acknowledge their existence,
Yeah.
tama.
Mm.
But to spend so much time,
Mm.
Yeah.
I think that's where it makes me question.
Do you want to give
things.
examples of these
No,
minorities?
no, no. No. I get
I
what
think
you're
some
saying.
clarity is needed.
Maybe another episode, but
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
No, but
I guess there will be more guestings.
to your point,
I guess it's also like forgetting na as a minority, you still need to make adjustments. Kasi minority ka nga eh. Para kunwari ako, ito na lang, classic example. Every time I go to a get-together and I'm on this keto carnivore diet,
Okay.
I always ask like, ano yung food? If they say it's pancit and bread, okay, magbabaon ako ng food because I'm not gonna demand everyone. Di mag-serve kayo ng steak kasi
Ikaw yung
diet ko
mag-adjust.
eh.
Ikaw yung mag-adjust.
Diba? Ako
yeah.
yung mag-a-adjust talaga.
well, dati, dinedemand mo.
Uy, hindi.
Throwing her
Excuse me,
under the
I
bus.
don't demand. Yes, you do. I bring something na keto, tas I make everyone eat it. Ayaw nila. Yeah.
That's what
All
I
of you
do.
should use the left-handed chair.
Yeah, because it's good for you. Stop eating sugar. Ganon.
Stop the carbs.
What is this right-hand
Pero
bullshit?
see, ako yung nagdala.
Okay.
Ah.
You
I
provided.
provided it.
Because you're a
Okay.
provider.
No? Anyway.
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, so I guess like that's something also going back to the first few episodes where I came in, right? It's also about that energy, that energy balance, that masculine and feminine energy, right?
You know what really amuses me?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Is yung mga tomboy tsaka baklang nagiging mag-asawa.
Okay.
Possible but not optimal.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like marriage with extra steps, diba?
Yeah. It's a straight relationship with mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Right? It
okay,
is.
yeah,
I mean, if it works for them.
But pero na-amuse talaga ako doon na
Mm.
parang this guy is in his feminine.
Yeah.
This woman is in her
Her
masculine.
Mm. And they balance
Yeah,
each other out.
Ang galing.
Oh, yeah.
So yun, with regard to the energy, like there's this preconceived there's a proclivity to a certain type of behavior, because if you're masculine then you should act this way. If you're feminine then you should act that way.
Right.
Okay.
So like the provider is the masculine, right?
Right.
And the receiver is the feminine.
Feminine.
Okay.
Right? So but in a masculine mind, we kind of have to think of there is no excuse. Ganun kami lagi. Like and I'm guilty of not thinking this way all the time.
Yeah.
But that's how we must think, because there is no safety net for us. We are the safety net,
Uh-huh.
right?
Nice.
And
yes.
so what that means is that parang the way a man should act is like a navigation, like Waze, for example.
Okay.
Na if sinabi sa amin na Hindi, we're changing route. Okay, boom. No, but, well, walang resistance. Dapat, you have to do it because you're a man. You get me?
Okay.
Versus in a feminine energy, you can be pabebe, you know? You can be like, kasi, ano eh, okay, fine. You know, like,
May room
it's
for
more
negotiation.
forgiving, you know?
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
you live the world in a different lens. And
Right.
most women aren't even aware of that.
Mm.
Diba? That they have privileges of just being a woman. Diba?
Meron
Right,
talaga.
meron.
Meron.
And there's this, I think there was this girl who on purpose, right? I forget the name, and I don't want to misquote, but basically someone who was a woman who tried to live life as a man
Okay.
and like really pretended she was a man, and then she realized just how hard.
Nakita ko to sa YouTube. Yung being a man for a day.
No, it was longer than
Longer
that.
than
And
this.
I don't know if
Okay.
parang it led to her depression and parang
wow.
I think I don't know. You'd have to do the research, but
Okay.
parang there
But I've
were
heard
a
of
lot of
this,
negative effects because of this experiment, and it really
Oh.
put things into perspective for her.
Wow.
So yon.
What makes it so hard? Kasi I'm looking at relational dynamics. So Stacy pointed this out earlier. She goes, ngayon ko nakikita na sobrang daming women is in their masculine energy mode.
And a lot of men are in their feminine.
Yeah,
Super!
I mean, it's surprising, like especially the younger generation.
Right.
And you wouldn't even notice it if you're not paying attention. You just think it's empowerment.
Right.
Iba na panahon ngayon.
Yeah.
But if I listen to my friends and the way they hate on men, or if I listen to, I mean, for sure there are good reasons why there's trauma there, diba? Parang if you're so repelled by men,
Mm.
there must be a pain point there.
Yeah.
And
I'll
then,
date women na lang. Yeah.
I mean, classic case na meron ganon,
Right.
diba?
Yeah.
Na, oh my gosh, I'm so done with men. They're so complicated. They're so useless. I'm just gonna swing the other way
Right.
and date women. And I've seen it happen in my core groups. And how do we now encourage both genders to see that this is not the optimal design?
I mean, you can encourage all you want, right? But then the end of the day, motivation is fleeting, right? Like when you
Correct.
attend a seminar, you're so hyped, right? Oh my God, I'm gonna change my life. And then you go home and then you sleep and then you wake up the next
And
day
it's
and
back
you're
to
just
the
like,
same grind.
Yeah.
what happened to all that motivation, right? Because that's all we can do. We can tell them this is better for you because XYZ, but at the end of the day, it has to be intrinsic.
Yeah.
It has to come from them.
Yeah.
And the only way that is possible is they have to learn their lessons, right? Life has to slap them in the face.
Right,
You get
right,
me?
That's
right.
true.
I mean, they could choose to listen to advice. Like I always say, like if there's a boiling pot of water in front of you right now, and I take my hand and I put it in the boiling pot of water, and you actively see me get burnt, and I'm like, ow. Are you gonna put your hand in that pot of water? The wise person wouldn't, right? Pero may mga tigas ulo din, diba? Oh yeah, let's try, diba? You know?
Yeah.
You get me? Like, and then, masakit pala, diba?
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. They have
that
to go through it
pain will be
on
your
their own,
lesson.
eh.
Alam mo,
Yeah.
I recently watched the interview of Meiko
Yeah.
Montefalco.
Right. Kay Tony Talks.
Kay Tony Talks.
Mm.
She did a tell-all interview on what went down in her marriage with that Patrick.
Right.
Oh my gosh, he's such a loser. Sorry, but he is.
Mhm.
Pero ito nga yung mga realizations eh. She was the strong breadwinner in that relationship. And the guy ended up cheating on her, using her money to buy her gifts and all of these things. And even in their wedding, the guy didn't prepare walang vows.
Okay.
Oo, grabe
Okay?
yun.
And
Wala ring gift. Nothing.
nothing, oo. Tapos eventually, lahat ng business na sinimula nung guy, siya yung nagfa-fund. And then it just wouldn't work out and then hihingi na naman ng pang-capital, ganyan. And I really felt so sorry for this girl. But at the same time, there was something deeply, severely broken in her to allow it
Mm.
to be dragged on for years.
Right.
Yeah.
They had kids. They had
Mm.
2 kids together.
Mm.
And then, dumating na siya dun sa point na nung nahuli na nga niya, kasi nga namumokpok din yung guy, ganyan, na todo deny pa siya, and then eventually, it became a full-blown affair.
Mm.
And then, she was able to take hold of the guy's phone and see evidence. Grabe, it was so heartbreaking to see her go through that interview. She was really, grieving it, and
She was
heartbroken.
crying again.
Oh,
Telling the
grabe,
same story.
trauma talaga.
Oo,
Kasi
oo.
dumating din daw sa point na she was admitted in the hospital, and the guy would keep bouncing in and out because he was out with friends.
Mm.
Diba? Na iniisip ko, why is it that this woman has provided everything for this guy
Right.
and he still didn't see her worth?
You know, there's this movie of this girl. I think she invented soap or something like that. I forget the name of the movie.
Okay.
But it's similar profile to this woman that you're talking about, and she was the one who was the entrepreneur, diba? She started the
Mm.
business, and then she had a husband that was,
Support.
kind of the same kind of
Okay.
peg. But the thing is, he ends up cheating on her as well.
Oh,
I guess
crazy.
I'm not saying this is the right, but I
Oo.
guess if I were to answer your question, it's probably because the man felt emasculated,
Mhm.
right? And that the woman one-upped him, and so the only way in his subconscious that he could feel
Right.
better about that
Is
is
to cheat.
to be quote unquote a man and fuck around, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And that's how he reclaims his masculinity.
So is it our responsibility to make men feel like they're men? Nalala ko kasi yung sa Crazy Rich Asians.
Do I
Okay?
answer?
Sige, teka
Yeah.
lang.
Mm.
Yung scene na yung girl, di ba, she's filthy rich talaga. Na she has to hide all her purchases.
Mm.
Right.
Kasi nga, naawa siya dun sa husband niya dahil she already feels bad that the husband can give her all her spending
Right.
habit, can fund her spending power.
You know what?
And then she has a line there na it's not my job to make you feel like a man.
Mm.
And syempre, lahat ng babae sa sa cinema parang tama, kinote pa sa Facebook. Actually, ako yun.
Right.
Kinote sa Facebook and sa sobrang women empowerment, ganyan. But,
But
yeah,
dyan tayo sa but. Ganon. Oh,
What is that? McDonald's.
I don't know.
okay, but baka puwet to. Top shot
but,
ng puwet.
yan. But,
Okay.
in the greater scheme of things, and
Oo.
if you want a healthy
Right.
and thriving relationship,
Maybe. No, cause I remember seeing reels na parang wives just wanting my husband to feel like a man. Tapos yung kaya naman nilang buksan yung jar pero ibibigay nila sa
that's so
husband nila. Yung ganon.
cute.
And I get it now.
sige. I
Pero,
wanna hear.
sige,
I wanna hear.
Oh,
what's
so
the thing?
basically, diba, the whole point of this app is should man lead, right?
Yeah.
So there are so many thoughts in my head, but basically, men are the guardians of marriage, women are the guardians of sex.
Can you explain?
Okay, explain.
Okay, so men choose who they marry. Women choose who they...
Okay.
Wait, women are the gatekeepers of sex.
Yes, basically.
Tama naman.
Totoo.
Dahil
so-
kahit mag-tumbling ka dyan, kung di ako bubuka ka, wala talagang
Oh,
mangyayari.
so at the end of the day... so at the end of the day,
Mag-backflip ka dyan. Mag-cartwheel
Diba?
ka dyan.
is it your job to make us feel like men? No, but it's our job to choose the woman that would.
Oh.
You get me? Why would we be with a woman who doesn't make us feel like a man? That's our fault because we chose that. We
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
you understand? So if you're not in a relationship with a woman that makes you feel like a man, or if you feel like they're not doing their job as a woman and you feel emasculated, why are you in that relationship?
Agree. Yeah.
Mm.
Diba?
Diba?
Ba't kailangan mo mag-cheat?
Kaya ka nag-cheat.
Oo.
You get me?
Okay,
Oh, so
Because you have to reclaim your masculinity one way or
Elsewhere.
another.
Oh,
and
elsewhere.
that's easy to just get up. Kaya nga,
Namumokpok.
pokpok eh.
Oh.
yeah.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, yes and no, diba? Like yes, but that's not your fault. And that's not really your job.
Right.
Okay. I
And
like this.
And if you're with a man that puts you in your feminine, you're gonna make him feel like a man anyway. Like you will
Alam mo, gustong-gusto ko na talaga maging feminine. Asa na ba?
Ako rin, I wanna be, okay, ito pa.
I want to
Speaking
wake up
of
with like butterflies in my hair.
Yeah.
sunglasses,
Oh, I
ganon.
wanna talk to birds. Alam mo yun? While I'm
Yan.
doing the laundry. Shit naman. Ano ba?
Oh.
No, you know what? I was watching this
Naging Snow White.
Oh.
about
meron ako napanood na reel and the guy says na when the man makes the woman feel secure and safe,
Right.
her nervous system relaxes. And then she enters in her feminine mode. So yung responsibility ng lalaki, sure, it may not be our job. Tell me if this is right.
Okay.
Sure, it may not be our job to make men feel masculine, but I think it's on the man to make a woman feel feminine.
Sure. Yeah. And if
Right?
and if you're unable to do that, then that woman might not be the woman for you. Kasi
Yeah.
may mga,
Oo nga
you know,
eh.
like
it's not
if-
a fit.
yeah, if you can't make that woman fit into her
Soften.
feminine, then
Right.
hindi para sa yung woman na yun. Or you haven't risen to the level of man you need to be
Right.
in order to be that man for her.
Wow,
Yes.
parang hugot na hugot kasi
Yan.
sa.
Yan.
Parang
Yeah.
yung pag...
So it's
Preach it.
also a matter of is that gonna fit your timeline, 'di ba? Kasi ayun na nga there's also that factor of age,
Oo
that
naman.
factor of wealth.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's so many of these nuances that will lead to will this woman or will this man fit into this alignment,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's an alignment thing also. eh.
And yes, love is important, but then yeah, you know, all of these things also play a factor into it.
Alam mo, yung isang naisip ko dito is, men, okay, someone said this and I completely agree. Chivalry is dead because women killed it.
Mhm.
And,
I can hold my own bag.
yeah,
Yan.
or parang, women are so inclined to be independent and hyper go-getters these days.
Yeah.
Men now are underperforming because women are taught to overperform.
Yeah.
So there's this imbalance in the dynamic.
Yeah.
So the question now is for Dani, because I know for a fact na that's what makes it harder for men to lead, is
Yeah.
because ba't ko ba gagawin? Ginagawa mo na.
You can't
Or,
lead.
hindi lang yun. Pag ginawa ko, magagalit ka pa.
Yes.
Na parang it's an insult to women now. Na pag
Yeah.
pinagbuksan mo ng door na parang, bakit sa tingin mo, hindi ko kaya gawin yan?
Yeah.
May ganun din eh.
Nangangagat. Diba? Like, you can't lead a woman who doesn't want to follow.
Oo.
Right?
Oo.
But then a woman will not follow if you don't seem like you can
Right.
lead.
Exactly.
So it's chicken and egg.
oo
you
nga,
know?
Right.
Oo,
So your
naman.
job as a man is to become the best leader you can be. Right?
Yeah.
So how?
There's so many ways, right?
Sige,
Like,
sige. Ito na yun.
yeah, you have to be able to build yourself. I call it heart, mind, body, and soul.
Okay.
Diba? So the pillars of
Si
building.
Coach D. Coach
Yeah.
D, take it
Coach
away.
D. I feel like the easiest is the body.
Right.
Because there's literally nothing stopping you, right?
Yeah, it's you
Like,
versus
Like
you.
you can give yourself excuses like I'm not rich enough or I can't afford a gym membership or
Whatever.
or
gusto
ang
mo.
mahal kasi ng diet food
Okay,
diba?
okay,
Pero
no.
none of that's true. Like ang mura ng eggs, dude. Like,
Yeah, and ground beef.
if you want, you could do calisthenics.
Right.
Diba?
Body
Like,
weight.
like you just go to a park is free.
Yeah.
Water
In
is
your
free.
room even.
You know?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like it's you versus you.
Yeah.
As a man, it's
As
you.
a
It's
man,
always you versus you, right? And always begin with what is in your control, right? If you cannot do anything with your financial situation, don't let that burden you because wala kang magawa dun eh. So saan ka makakagalaw? Saan ka makaka-progress? Because progress is the goal,
Yeah.
not
Right.
perfection.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
As
And
long
not
as you're
all at
moving,
once,
as long as
right?
you're moving forward, diba?
Yeah.
So, and then eventually, when that progress is seen, opportunities will find you.
Yeah.
And things will fall into place.
Yeah.
But if you're stagnant, then you will remain the same. Diba? I was in the gym kanina, tapos I saw on the wall, train insane or remain the same. Diba?
Pero tama.
Oh, diba? Like, you have to be the catalyst for your own change, diba? I feel like also this network is testimony to that, diba? I saw the post about the greeting to Franco,
By James Deacon.
diba?
Yeah, I loved
That
it.
was really
solid.
heartfelt,
Oh,
diba?
yeah.
And that's a testimony to always a little bit better. Diba?
Yeah.
And then
1% a
and
day.
then you will make it, diba?
Yes,
So
yes.
we're all gonna make it, guys.
Yeah, tiwala lang. Kumapit lang tayo. May
Yeah.
World War III.
Diba?
Gas prices are high.
Oo.
Tiwala lang. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
yun.
you know what?
Mag-EV
Okay.
na lang kayo. Lol.
Side story. Ako kasi, dahil nga ang programming sa atin is independent and
Yeah.
parang
Doing it all on your own.
all on your own. Nakita ko din how natural it was for men to want to provide. Like when I recently went to Japan and I was with two bros, okay?
Providers.
Grabe, dude! Grabe! Wala na akong masabi pa.
Oo.
And I really felt so bad at first na parang nakikipag-unahan talaga ako sa pag-tap ng car. Kasi tatakbo talaga ako sa bar. Eh, hindi nga rin ako maintindihan ng mga Hapon. So parang please, pay.
Na ano ka tuloy? Sit down.
Oh, and they're like,
Be
dude,
humble.
Relax.
Sit down.
Oh,
Sit.
we got this. We got this. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Masarap, diba?
Mag-extend akong 2 weeks.
Yeah! Had to be feminine.
Sobra. And there wasn't even an ounce of, ikaw naman Wala. Walang
Yeah.
ganon. But I just really saw these two brothers of mine really take care of me in such a wholesome way. And it felt so good to see them na pwede pala yun. Because to me, that's not very common in my life.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
you had to like snap yourself out of
it.
it.
Oh, and I had to
Kasi
swallow my pride kasi nga parang, oh my
ginagawa
God. Hindi,
mong-
kasi the dialogue in my head was, oh my gosh, sobrang pabigat na ako sa trip na to. Uuwi na ako. Kasi
Oo.
meron akong ganun. And I'm like,
Wow.
wait lang, Dana.
Where did
these-
that come from?
I know. I guess it's like me being self-sufficient and we just talked about it in another episode. But yung baka may masabi. Ayoko yun eh. Ayoko ng ganun na, or baka they might think freeloader ako.
Oo.
Yun, that's my
Oo.
I
biggest
don't
fear.
think that's ever a problem for a woman.
That's
to be
your,
honest.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
your own. I
Oh
don't
my gosh, I'm
know.
gonna be this entitled bitch now. Everyone.
No, I feel like the man pa will feel bad
No.
if they can't treat you.
But yeah, I mean, ang akin now is, if someone offers,
Let
It's
them.
okay, let them,
Actually,
diba?
after a while, I was able
parang
to relax.
snap out of the whole transactional mentality na
oo.
parang, you're a woman, girl.
Oo nga
Use
eh.
that
Sobrang
power.
na-enjoy ko
Yes.
talaga. I mean,
You were born with value.
I know, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And I had to see it from a non-romantic lens na,
Right.
wow, good men will really want to naturally provide
Lalo na
for-
if they can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
they can.
Oh,
They can.
Like,
These
'cause
guys.
some men can't, right? But
Right.
if a man can,
And they want to.
why
do.
wouldn't they?
Naloka ako. As in,
Oh.
parang I was wigging out at one point. I'm like, what is going on?
Oo.
And it was such a good experience. I mean, honestly, I wish
Yeah.
more
That's a
women
little
would
taste
have...
of feminine.
I know.
Yeah.
I want more.
I want more
Oh.
bites of it.
Yeah.
I love
I want to
it.
scarf it down.
You know the best way you can pay back that kindness
Oh.
is take care of them in nurturing ways.
Oo nga, I cook for them.
Yeah.
Masaya nga eh. It was such a fun
Get
trip.
them water.
Yan, ganon.
Yeah.
I clean their room.
Oh, pinapawisan ka.
Oh,
Yan,
parang
diba?
ano talaga siya. It was such a
That's a
wholesome-
big deal for them,
Actually.
That's
Oh.
huge for them.
Or parang yung one
Because
time
it's
na...
weird if a guy did that for another guy.
I know,
you know?
I know, I
Bro,
know.
Yeah, ako na bahala
Bro,
sa
may
lunch
pawis.
natin, diba?
And then at one point, they were like, so they're like, I was talking about my mom's cooking, and they're
Right.
like, okay, sige, let us buy the groceries, ganyan.
Mm.
Tapos the next morning, kinulang pa kami ng ingredients.
Mm.
Tapos I was on my way out, and then one of them goes, ano pang kailangan mo? Lista mo, ako na.
Mm.
Sabi ko, oh my God. May tatakbo ng errand for me.
Yeah.
Sige, sabi niya, ito lang kailangan mo. Hindi, dagdagan mo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want this,
yeah,
this,
yeah,
this.
Yeah, but I cooked for them and they loved it. And it's such a
And that's
good
all they
dynamic.
want.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
That's all they
Oh my
want.
gosh, I'm so ready to just feed the man.
Yan, diba?
I love it.
So that's
Oo.
it. Like, and that's what I mean. Because your question was, what can we say to encourage men or women to embody their natural energy?
Yeah.
Stories like that, right?
Mm.
And you experienced it.
Yeah.
And we can shout facts, statistics all day long, but
Right.
nothing beats your personal experience
Yeah.
because that's authentic, and no
Yeah,
one can
yeah.
take that away from
That's
you.
true.
And so the way you felt during that trip, that's how you deserve to feel, and you just have to step into that.
Oh my gosh.
Diba?
I love this. I love this
Mm.
episode. Parang kung mahaba yung hair ko.
Pulutin mo na sa
Oo
sahig
nga
yan.
eh. Nasa
Napakan ko
EDSA
dito.
na. Nasa EDSA na siya.
Wow. Thanks, Dani, for the insights
Love
again.
it.
course.
Oh,
I'm
solid,
always
solid
happy to be
discussion.
here.
Yeah.
So yon. Is that the end? Do I beatbox outro na?